Hello, hello, hello. It's Vicki Manting, and I got Liz Allen here with me. And this is a special edition of the Follies. And Liz is going to tell you more about it. I will say this is a special performance by the Vintage Improv Festival Academy for Advanced Performance.
Yep, Academy for Advanced Performers is what you're going to see in a minute. My name is Liz. Thank you so much, Vicki, for the good. Can we start over? Thank you so much, Mickey, for the Vintage
I'm just
Improv.
leaving.
Pardon me? Oh, you're leaving. She's going to leave me. That's perfect. I've been so excited to work with this lovely group of people for 8 classes now. And before we had some of these people I worked with before over the summer. You know, this last year and a half has had some terrible struggles and just so many challenges. And a bright spot has been, for me, certainly Zoom Improv and certainly VIF. So I'm so excited to introduce this group to you because they've been working hard on a new, different form. And we're going to present it to you today. And what else do I want to tell you? Well, I'm just super happy. Let's bring everybody in. It's the Academy for Advanced Performers who's going to do a show today. Come on in, everybody. We'll introduce ourselves real quick. I'll start. I'm Liz from Chicago. Josh?
I'm Josh, also from Chicago.
Great. Jackie?
Jackie from Chicago.
Dave?
From Chicago.
See what I did there, Mickey?
Mickey from Boston.
Don?
Don Slovan, New York City.
Carolyn?
Carolyn Cole from Chapel Hill, North Carolina.
Which is where I was born. I never knew.
Oh,
Look, you guys, I went to NC State. There's a sticker to prove it. I was born in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and we were all here to just see this incredible coincidence live on YouTube. That's amazing. I had no idea, Carolyn. We'll have to talk later. What are your cross streets? Okay, Michelle?
Michelle from outside Boston.
Arnie?
Arnie from Berlin, Germany. Anybody was born there?
That I wish I was so it was almost Germany. How about that? We got Europe in the house. All right, everybody, take it away.
Do we have a suggestion?
Oh, oops. I should have said that. But I think that was my job to say if people want to put suggestions in the chat. Sorry about that. If people want to put the suggestions in the chat, that would be great.
I see pointer dog.
Great.
I really love the new dog, but you know, he's rude. I have guests come to the house and he points at them. Like manners are to not point at people.
And when the dog sees people, he points. People react in an offended manner. And I thought, well, what am I going to do? I have adopted this dog. I mean, my guests may not return after having this terrible experience.
He was just pissed off because he didn't have a name. I mean, his name got forgotten and he kept pointing at people to try to get them to name him, but he couldn't really talk. All he could do was point, and meanwhile, he is getting more and more frustrated.
And then we started to think, well, maybe he was pointing because he wanted the name of the person he was pointing to. And he started pointing to some children who had really strange names, like, "You're weird."
Unfortunately, many of the children he pointed to had an instinctive feeling that they were about to be prey. And this just made them nervous. They didn't feel like telling their names to this dog, this anonymous dog who seemed to be pointing at them for hunters to get them. That was pretty scary, and it kind of put a pall over the party.
As Henry is a dog that used to point at people grew older, he didn't want to be remembered as Henry the dog without any manners. So he changed his manners a bit and started yawning whenever somebody wanted him to do something.
And
He would yawn with that characteristic curled up tongue that dogs do so often. Arthritis deprived him of his pointing ability, and so the yawn actually became his trademark in the neighborhood.
And when they say that a dog cannot be taught new tricks, well, this dog taught himself to not only be able to yawn and to point and a few other things, but he also had a sense when he looked through his eyes at other human beings that they needed him. And he would go right up to them and rub against their legs.
And you heard that, other human beings, because this dog did not realize he was a dog. Or the people around him didn't realize they were dogs. And who knows?
And this was really the beginning of the trans-species movement, where we shouldn't insist on people being the species they were born, or dogs. And this became he or they became the poster animal for the trans-species movement.
Sometimes I experience my feline side. I don't think that makes me different from other people with feline inclinations.
Look, Jennifer, I have no problem with that. I'm just worried about you sitting on top of the radiator. I don't think it's good for you or the radiator. You know, you weigh more than the average, the traditional cat.
I'm not a cat. I'm merely in touch with my feline side. And furthermore, it's very chilly in the winter.
Well, you know, that fur coat that you wear day and night, you would think that that would keep you warm enough. You know, but that's fine. I'll go get your can of tuna.
Well, you know, I've been feeling really guilty all during Zoom because people have their cats slathering all over the screen. And I hereby declare, although as an animal I don't hate them, I am definitely not a cat lover. In fact, I am allergic to them. They make my eyes swell. And there are some cats that are really stealth and you never see them anywhere. Nobody in the house sees them. I can guarantee you they come and they slather themselves all over me. They rub themselves and their allergens all over my body, and everybody's like amazed, like, how can this elusive stealth cat come? And then of course I start to sneeze.
My favorite alternative to the radiator is to rub up against you. I like to just sneak on over and get really cozy.
I love when you do that, but it does bother me a bit that you do that to everyone who comes to the house.
You're jealous.
Well, yeah, I think of you as my pet.
Oh,
Oh.
I am definitely your pet.
Some pets are not real. Well, that is, they may be real in the imagination. of the beholder. And this is a set of pets that I have. They were given to me by my ex-husband. I saw them in the store, I fell in love with them, and he secretly bought them, and then made up a poem saying, "One on one they do sit, but none but the bottom may take a shit."
I apologize for making a mess in the corner. There were these lovely little rocks. And they called to me.
I'm supportive, and we agreed on the cat box, so it's okay.
Oh, should I go over there? Is that? But that's just fishes over there. I need it over there. Yeah, I think a bird maybe it might be a better pet for. That's what do you call it? The feline, the cat section. Yeah, I always thought of myself as I'm more of a dog person, but
It's you. You're the one.
What's your name?
I'm Frank. I've been here last week, and I wanted to buy a dog last week, and you said come back next week because you said I'm not ready to be a dog owner. I should learn some responsibility first, and now you point me to the fishes.
You look more like a fish owner than a dog owner.
But fishes.
I totally agree. There's a certain look to you that tells us exactly what every customer should be paired with. You are a fish person.
But fishes don't do anything, do they?
I once lived in a house that came with an aquarium and had lovely fish in it. And as the house sitter, I had responsibility to feed the fish. And when I left 3 months later, I was astounded at how attached I was to those tiny anonymous fish. I had really grown to care about them.
I'm sure you're doing a lovely job here, finding the right pet for the persons in your shop. But
Trust us.
Trust us. I mean, we have many satisfied customers. In fact, like if you just look around, you can see them all. Some look like dogs, some look like cats, some look like aardvarks.
I thought the world was divided into dog or cat person, but I never knew.
Oh, no. Our
There's
world
more?
is massive.
All it takes is you imagining. And you can create, in this day of genetic manipulation, you can create whatever you want.
I used to run with my dog, big 120-pound St. Bernard Akita mix, name of Roscoe. And every once in a while, as we ran down the field, he would reach up with his jaw and take my hand in his jaw very gently, and his head would bob up and down as we ran across the field, and Roscoe would hold my hand.
I once had a discussion with the pet shop around the corner about why it is that people would want to buy fish. I kind of don't get it. I mean, it's like, you can't pet them. You can't hold them. All you can do is hope that you don't overfeed them and that they would die.
Just, you guys got to keep going. Staying alive is what it's about.
That's right. That's right. You feed them, you hope for the best. You wake up, you breathe, you look around, who knows what's going to happen.
Yep. Yep. And, some people, really watch their kids every minute and figure out what to do. And, and I, like you said, feed them, make sure they're breathing, and send them out the door. The best strategy.
We've lived next door to each other for 7 years, Charlie, and
Yeah.
I've never heard you wax so poetic as today.
Well, Wally, this is a kind of a special day. My kids are going to kindergarten, and I figure that's about it. I can, more or less wipe my hands of them at this point. Somebody else's problem now.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, today
Daddy,
must-
Daddy, read the poem out loud to me, please.
Let your teacher do that. That's what we pay them for.
Oh no, Mr. Jones, will you read it? Please, here it is. Just read it because I'm too young to read it.
Wally, you have no obligation. Okay, this is up to you, but.
Oh, I'll just give the kid a little poem here. I went to school because I'm no fool. I'll learn stuff, hope it's not fluff. There you go. How about that?
Oh, thanks, Wally. I guess the first day we can indulge them a little bit.
Sure, because next thing you know, they'll be staying there all afternoon. They'll be hanging out at night. They won't want to see you in a little while. So might as well grab what you can.
Yep, something to look forward to. All right, Wally, been good to chat with you over the fence here, but I gotta go. I haven't been able to do any work, with those kids around, so I'm gonna take advantage of them.
All right. I hear a
somewhere
beer
else.
calling to me.
All right, see you later.
Bring in Michelle. So I think that I killed your fish. I'm sorry. I was supposed to be the pet sitter. I'm a lot better with dogs and cats.
Leo, that's the one thing I asked you to do was take care of my fish.
And I did, but they decided to die.
Leo, I've been taking care of those fish for 10 years.
Oh God. I'm really sorry. I could have done that thing where, you go out and buy other fish and replace them and put them into the aquarium and all that, but I
Oh no,
love
Leo,
you
that
too
would
much.
never have worked. I know
I
those
wouldn't have.
fish. I know there's particular markings. You never would have gotten away with that, Leo.
Well, did.
My sister, when we were kids, had tiny little turtles as pets. They never lasted very long, and then we heard on the news that they tended to be infected with salmonella. And after that, we named her two pets, Sam and Ella. And she kept that up for a while, but the longevity just wasn't good enough. So she gave up the turtle phase.
No, hear me out here. It's very possible that your fish actually had an incurable disease that you weren't aware of, and they just happened to have died on my watch.
That's possible, Leo. It's possible that it was just a ticking time bomb and it was your bad luck to be present.
I would hope you would think of it that way.
Calling Jackie. You know, I just don't get it, but the neighbors keep telling me that I'm an aardvark. I'm a person, I'm a human being, and
I totally agree. You're just a person in touch with your aardvark side.
I can tell that you would understand because I notice the way that you slather yourself over things when I come over to your house. I knew I could trust you.
Yeah, I think we need to form a trans species support group for people in touch with their other species side.
Right. Thank you for understanding.
Look, just because it's your pet rabbit doesn't mean we can't eat it.
You can't eat Sally.
Well, look, Ralph, I just want to make...
You can't eat anything that has a name.
Look, I just want to make a really great holiday dinner, and I just think Sally would just roast up just so nicely.
I come from the city. I guess you could say I grew up thinking that milk came from cartons versus cows. And it was a very difficult concept for me to go to a state fair where people belonged to 4-H and would raise an animal and give it a name and then win a prize and the animal went to be slaughtered. I just couldn't and still can't get the concept.
Ralph, it's just the cycle of life. I mean, think of all the vegetables we fed Sally. Just think of it as eating those vegetables, getting them back.
Yeah, those vegetables don't have a name. Eggs don't have names. Burgers don't have names. You can't eat.
Why don't people give names to their eggs? I like that idea. Whose idea was it to take this cruise to the Galapagos?
I don't know. But I think if we keep on going, I'm going to be scrambled.
I'm a
miss my mother.
blue-footed booby egg. Nobody should eat me. I'm protected.
I'm ready to crack.
I miss my mother's warmth.
Do any of these animals have names?
I don't think so.
That's
I
how
think
we
there
stay
was a-
alive.
There was a gentleman named Darwin. He named those animals here on this island.
Are you Darwin? Can you give me a name?
Yes, not a species, a name, a
What's a
real
name,
live
Darwin?
individual name.
Mr. Darwin, just give me a name.
from different species. What is it with these biologists? What good is it to have one egg from each?
What do you mean?
Specimen.
Naming me a blue-footed booby? That's weird.
Well, I got off pretty easy. I'm a Christmas lizard.
I think I'm a duck-bill platypus.
I can't wait to see how I turn out.
I'm a Sam.
I'm not finding my label. I don't know what I am.
Hatch! You'll find out.
How do you get out of these shells?
Have you seen my sister Ella?
Mr. Darwin, what have you done?
I was just naming you.
I think I can see the outside. I think that's the outside.
That's our show.
Congratulations, Advanced Academy for Advanced Performance. Nikki, I'll let you take it away. That was great, you guys.
Okay, thank you everyone for coming to
Thank you,
see
Liz.
this special version of the Follies. And once again, I'll let everybody introduce themselves and say where they're from. I'm Nikki, Boston.
Carolyn, Chapel Hill, North Carolina.
Dave Carbonell, Chicago.
On Sloven, New York City.
Jackie,
I'm
Chicago.
Annie, Berlin.
Josh in Chicago.
Michelle, Boston.
And I'm so thrilled that Arnie is not up at 4 in the morning today.
Thank you,
This is
Arnie.
his
I'm so thrilled you
Euro-friendly
made it
time.
happen to a European-friendly time, Nikki. Thank you.
Okay, everybody.
Thanks, everybody,
We'll be
for
back
getting
on
up so
Sunday
early.
with a whole big show. Thanks a lot for tuning in.
Bye.
Bye.